Oops. Okay. Look at me. I actually posted on our Twitter account and promoted the show.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know, it's almost like we're professionals or something.
Close.
Uh, I can pretend sometimes.
The real dream, right?
Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. Good. And I think we're live. So that's good. Things are working.
All right. Let's
Okay.
get started. Episode 50? Half a,
Whoa.
half a century?
Half a century. Also, did you change your mic? It suddenly sounded way different.
Yes, I did. I was able to switch on the condenser mic because,
It's,
I don't
it,
know. It decided I didn't want my condenser mic for some reason today, and then I made the swap.
okay. For a second, it sounded like you were underwater or something.
Huh, that's so
it,
weird.
it was weird. Okay. Beautiful. All right. I think we're set up and ready. Ready?
Let's go.
All right. Oh. Also open my sound settings so I can mute. Okay. Welcome to episode 50 of the TCCG Roundtable. We're your hosts, dragonrider, DankestDad, and no Run Mexico today. I know. I don't get to do it.
So sad.
It is. He is okay. Like it's not anything like a medical emergency or anything like that. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today. But hopefully, he will be back and things will be back in order next week. But that's okay. That's okay because now with three hosts, if one of us is out, then hopefully we still get to do things like this where it's still two of us and we can keep the show going.
Yeah, two of us, a duo, if you would.
Oh, that's very clever. I wonder if that relates to anything.
Who can
No.
say?
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Well, before we jump into any news and competitive and all that, do you have anything going on that you want to talk about? Anything coming up that you are doing? Anything of note?
Well, I know I'm cheering on my teammates this weekend in Las Vegas. They are going to be playing some universes. So, rah, rah, go people from the local. I got a little sick traveling last week, so decided to take it easy. But I'm excited to, hear the stories, see how they do, and gear up for St. Louis when I'll get my next shot at a, regional event.
That's exciting. Yes. I don't know them, but rah rah locals. I mean, Dankest's locals. Really, because I don't have any locals. Uh, but yeah, that's exciting. I'm sure that next week you'll be able to give us more of like a recap and kind of see how that went down. Do you know how many people are gonna be there this weekend? Have you heard any like estimates or?
I would guess, based on the attendance for these, it's usually between 1 and 200. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye out. But
Okay.
I would estimate about 140. But we'll see who
That
actually shows up and checks in.
yeah. Well, that's fair. I think that's a pretty decent turnout. I would say for not one of like the big the big few card games. So
Yeah.
cool. Um, well, let's see. What do I have going on? Uh, we already talked previously about the casting that I had done for the recent Hearthstone Masters Tour. So did that. And then this week has just felt all over the place. Our 12-year-old lab uh, was acting like really, really sick, throwing up, all sorts of stuff, and then wasn't eating for several days. And I started to get very worried because when they don't eat for multiple days, I'm like, that's very bad. So ended up taking her to the vet on Wednesday, and they were kind of like, well, it might not be anything. It might be something like, we could take it a passive approach or we could keep her here and run some tests. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, let's like have you guys keep her and see what's going on. And yeah, then pretty much they ran tests and then called me and they were like, yeah, so she does have some sort of blockage or foreign something in her intestine. And they're like, we'll do another scan tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, and see. But if it hasn't moved, we're going to have to do surgery. I was like, okay, great. Yeah, let me know. And then that turned out to be the case. So, yeah, she had surgery yesterday. But so far, she's doing much, much better already today, the day following the surgery. So things are looking up. She's up and around moving, and she has already started eating a little bit today. So whoop, very happy about that as I like attack my microphone. But yes, very, very grateful for that. But it's been a very like stressful week. So I'm excited to just kind of chill and like talk about card games. Um, I don't feel like we have any any additional news or anything beyond what we've really talked about the last couple of weeks for most of the games. Like we've talked about the Disney Lorcana fourth set, and there's just been more card reveals happening for that. We mentioned the Shadows of the Galaxy for Star Wars Unlimited. I think they've revealed like a little bit more about that, but not really anything like beyond what we've already talked about, the couple new mechanics and that. So nothing extra there really, unless there's something that you caught that I didn't.
No, we have one of those rare, blessed weeks where
Yeah.
no new products have been announced. We just get to bask in what we have. I mean, sure, if you are following a lot of these games' release cycles, there are spoilers for at least what I follow more closely. Legends of Runeterra, Universes, and Star Wars are in spoiler season right now for their upcoming sets. And Magic and Universes have their big regional events this weekend. Magic has the Pro Tour Thunder Junction, and Universes has the North American Regionals in Las Vegas. So lots of fun stuff going on, but nothing brand new, fresh off the presses.
Yeah, I think the only thing like news wise that I would say that's really different is for Hearthstone, which they put out a huge patch, which is 29.2.2, and that like had what it was like 30 something cards changed between standard and wild. And then they had a bunch of changes for Battlegrounds and Battlegrounds Duos.
Yeah.
And like it just was a huge patch. So lots of
Yeah.
things.
If you play both modes like me, or all of those modes like me, it's over 80. So it is a doozy of a patch and a lot to learn. So
Wow.
good
That's so
luck
many
to
changes.
good luck to everyone trying to
Uh,
figure it out.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I even said in like one of our discords, just because of everything that's been going on like outside of the game for me this week, I was like, oh yeah, like cool, we got a little bit of like, lead time, I would say, for the patch notes for those of us in the Hearthstone Creator Program. And I was like, cool, here's these patch notes. Awesome. I can like record a video talking about the standard changes. And then next thing I know, I'm like hanging out in somebody's stream and people are like, so what's the best deck after the patch? And they're like asking these questions. And I'm like, what the, what? I was like, what? The patch doesn't hit until Thursday. And then I realized it was midday Thursday. And I was like, oh, yep, that tracks. That patch came out several hours ago. Oh, well, I guess I didn't make my video. Whoops. So yeah, sometimes that happens. But yeah, I was even looking at it and I'm like, I primarily just do standard. If I also did Battlegrounds, like focused heavily on Battlegrounds, I was like, I don't know how I would follow all this. There's so many things happening all at once. So many things.
A lot of them are like kind of subtle too, where
Yeah.
like, you're in the game, like 'cause you can't remember 80 patch notes just on a whim. Like I played a Battlegrounds game last night and I'm like, oh, that card doesn't look right. And it took me like 2 or 3 rereads to be like, oh yes, this is what's different. I understand. And it led me to a pretty cool build, but I also was just not ready. I realized to really dive in and play in my usual way when so much has been shaken up, but it seems like it's for the better so far.
Good. Nice.
So I got to ask you though, have you read
Yes.
all of these patch notes in detail, or are we in a position right here where I can just lie and make stuff up and you'll have to
Um, well, for the Battleground stuff, no, I did not read any of that in detail. So Battleground stuff, you could probably say whatever, and I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, that was part of the patch, okay, or like this is totally fine. Yeah, I would believe it.
Yeah.
That's the standard stuff again. Like that's kind of where I focus. So that I have definitely read more in detail. But
So I
yeah.
gotta ask, which change are you most excited about? What's got you going?
Uh, uh hmm. Okay. So I guess this will be like a mini topic that we're covering here. To be honest, I actually was a fan of the standard meta before the patch. And the bit that I have gotten to play, um, not a fan. So
Wow.
it's
What
yeah,
happened to you?
I'm in the
What went
minority.
down?
I think I'm in the minority. I've seen a lot of people say that they're very happy about the patch and excited. So I logged in yesterday and I played and I was like, cool, I'm gonna like, and maybe it was just that I was like, I put together my own decks and they were probably just not good, right? But I guess if I had to pick just something from the patch notes that I was like, I was excited for would be like Pirate Rogue. There were some buffs to some like Pirate Rogue stuff. So I was like, cool, like I think pirates will like be a thing now. We can play some Pirate Rogue. No, it was bad. But also I faced into a Death Knight. Okay, that's what I was seeing before the patch. Then I faced into a warrior that really felt awful. And I was like, also, we were seeing warrior before the patch. And then I faced into a mage that did the same thing as warrior and death knight of just stall the game, stay alive, and then kill you. And I was like, this we were also seeing before the patch. And then, yeah, that was my experience. And I kind of was just like, that doesn't feel great. And then I exited the game and I was like, oh, that was sadly disappointing. I love Hearthstone and I will still play. But man, I don't know. I think I was just really enjoying it before. And then that changed. And then I was like, okay, cool. It changed. There's a lot of changes. It's going to be so different. And then I saw the same things as before the patch. So I was like, that didn't feel different.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really tough for them to change what's going on right now at a fundamental level without reworks or very, very, very aggressive nerfs, which, some of these nerfs were very, very aggressive, and some of them are not, and are very much slaps on the wrist, which I think is okay based on the balance at top level, but I can say also I don't think we're going to be seeing lots of new archetypes propping up. It's just going to be old archetypes having a little bit more game into some of the decks that just strictly outclass them previously. Like
That's
aggro
fair.
paladin and aggro hunter at like the top level kind of weren't
Mm,
quite getting there. And now those decks seem like they can go toe to toe with what's left of warlock and what should we call it? Priest, which Priest still seems quite good. I think that the Zarimi nerf is impactful, might change how the deck is built, might lead to Zarimi getting cut altogether, but the sort of tempo Priest deck that we're seeing, I don't think it's going anywhere soon. So yeah, but
okay.
we'll have to see what happens. Nature Shaman
Yeah.
and Wheel Warlock are the two decks that really, really just should no longer exist anymore. Those decks got really killed. And then, well, the Reno decks got reworked completely. So the Cycle Warrior with Bran and Reno that was running lots of duplicates no longer is a deck that can be run.
Yeah. Which, there's still plenty of other cards that Warrior has that do things, and it probably was also the matchups. Like I was still trying to play a little bit more of aggressive decks when I faced into that, and then they still just like have a million removal cards and armor gain. So I was like, oh well, okay, like my my aggressive just hit him in the face deck, not doing much against all that removal and armor. So, probably again, like I only played a few games, so very very small sample size, like very bias type results. But and it was what the patch came out yesterday, and I tried it last night, so there's bound to be some changes that still kind of happen over
No,
time.
it's been 26 hours. We have all the answers. Met us
Oh,
all.
that's
Put
how.
down the
Oh,
game. No,
dang it.
forget it.
True. People usually decide that after like 26 minutes. They're like, all right, that's it. This is the meta now. And it's like, well, just hold on. Like, give it a chance. Let it breathe a little bit. Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Well, I think the only other thing that like I had added into any other part of our notes was that there is also Fuse Fest 2 happening this weekend in Minnesota, I believe.
Mhm.
I'm pretty
They
sure I have
like
that
Minnesota.
correct. Yes. And that is for Soulforge Fusion. This weekend is basically they're doing a Saturday, Sunday, like 2-day event that they're having multiple type of events, different like ways to play, and it also is kind of doubling as like essentially pre-release and early access for the people who are there to the third set of the game called The Last Winter. I actually had completely planned on going to this. I was like getting everything set up. I had talked to people and was like, yes. And then this month happened. Let's just pretty much like, right, I already told the story of me like getting super sick and going to the ER and then having casting the week after that, and like now leading into that, just kind of like I was like, yeah, I can't go now, unfortunately, because of like just the cost of everything else that hit me and all that. So and then things were happening at my husband's work that like changed that all up. So then also like his days off had to get switched around. So it was like, oh my gosh. So then he didn't have the time off to go anyways this weekend. And then now this week the dog's been at the vet. So it's like now I'm kind of thankful that I'm not there so that I could be here taking care of that. But it's just the whole thing. So for the people who are going to be there, I hope it's very exciting. And I can't wait to kind of dig in a little bit to the Soulforge Fusion Discord, like after the event and stuff, and kind of get their thoughts about like the set and how things felt when they got to like play the cards and that stuff more. So that'll be exciting. But yeah. All right. Anything else? Do you have anything else?
No.
Typing
What's
away.
Next?
What? What did you say?
I'm good to go. Let's go to the next thing. I have some fellow Amber Flight gaming members pushing me about administrative stuff. So for the silly Pokemon, this is cards. Those are digital monsters. Wait, pocket monsters, not digital. That would be silly.
Yes, so silly. I thought you said something about snacks, and I was like, yes, great. I like snacks. My stomach's growling right now, so I was like, oh, all right, we're getting snacks. Okay. But nope, I think that was just my stomach talking and somehow translating what it wanted to hear through my ears. So.
Yes, I can relate to that sentiment. Now I'm hungry too. That sucks.
No, I'm sorry.
But so here's the question: what are we hungry for?
Yes.
Blue milk, funnel cake, something else entirely?
I don't know. What is blue milk? I don't know this.
You don't like Star Wars? Oh no.
Oh, okay. Oh wait, I did see that at the grocery store the other day, and I was like, "Huh, blue milk." Yeah. Okay. No, I got that, and no. After seeing the Star Wars movie, no, I don't want that. No, thanks. No, I will not partake. I'm good.
Oh.
I think though, I am hungry for figuring out how Duos works, because what we're going to do is it is just you and I for this week. And we decided that this could be a good chance for us to do a live game of Battlegrounds Duos. Now, to preface this, I feel like we'll have like a little bit of teaching, maybe. So if anybody has not seen Battlegrounds Duos or has not played, you can learn a little bit, because I will be right there with you. I got to play a test game of Battlegrounds Duos at BlizzCon back in November. But since it is launched, I actually have not played. And Dankest, you have been playing a decent amount.
A fair bit, yeah. So I have had the good fortune of having a friend who is also very into Battlegrounds Duo. So the two of us have been queuing up a couple times every week, and it has been a total blast. Amazing social experience. And while you can, just queue up on ladder, get a random pairing, highly recommend doing it with a friend if you can. It is so fun.
Okay. Yeah, I find it really interesting as well, because I feel like when it was kind of coming out, I think we talked about this in another podcast. It might have been Dr. 3. I think that we were chatting about it. And it's like, I feel like I would not be the person that just wants to queue up randomly with somebody. Like if I'm gonna play Battlegrounds Duos, like I want to do it like this, right? Like where I can talk to the person and I know who I'm playing with, and like we can actually, kind of have a conversation or like, figure out what we're doing. I don't. But apparently, I've seen a lot of streamers who like their titles have just been like very focused on like, okay, just like just queuing up with random people and like, all right, rando duos, and I'm like, oh, okay. So clearly there is like an audience for people who just want to play it and just want to like randomly queue up. But do you have you tried randomly queuing?
I have. And
And
so my results have varied. I have
okay,
queued 2 random games, and in one of those random games we went 8th. We went 4th place, didn't go well at all. My partner was, I think, a little bit uh shall we say, under the weather in the whole department of the lobby. They were just probably a little greener, so it didn't work so great for them. The other game, we got the spicy pretzel mustard and the cinnamon funnel cake. We didn't lose a single fight. We won every fight, won the whole lobby, took no damage. It was awesome. And I normally playing solo, I don't go for spicy pretzel mustard. I've never gotten that achievement in hundreds or thousands of hours of battlegrounds, and boom. Well, Don, you're busy being famous over there, I can see. But yeah, it was something. So you never know what you're gonna get if you queue a random duo. It could really be anything.
that's fantastic. And yeah. Randomly, like while we're sitting here, so Dankest has already invited me to queue up. We have not started our game yet, but yeah, there's somebody who's on my friends list. I believe this is K-Bell. He's I believe also in THL. But yeah, just like randomly messaged and is like, "Is this Dragon Rider TCG the commentator?" I was like, "Oh, why? Well, yes, that is me, I guess." Like that was a weird feeling. Okay, says that I'm a celebrity. I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh,
No, I'm just me. I'm just Don. I don't know, but I guess I'm famous. All right. Well, perfect. So when we play this duos, for those who have not played, we will we will be paired together. So as you mentioned, Dankis, like you and your random partner that you had got fourth, right? So it's 4 teams of 2, and you both pick heroes. There are some heroes that like you can pick the same of. Sometimes it might not be. And there's certain heroes like Cho'Gall that you both have to pick in order to play that. They're paired specifically. And we both still have our own Battlegrounds board, correct? But then where
yes.
the kind of deck slot is, if you've played like standard Hearthstone, where your deck normally sits, there is a portal that you can click on that and you can actually see your partner's game board. So you can see what they have in their shop. You can see like what they have on their board or in their hand. So we can pass things through that portal as well to each other. So this is going to be really interesting for the viewers. I will try to put it up on the screen as much as I can, like back and forth. So we can go ahead and queue up if
Yes.
we want here.
So as we're queuing, just a quick warning of some other system mechanics that are a bit different.
Okay.
So number 1, you can passing cost 1 gold, straightforward enough. Number 2, leveling is a little bit more expensive. So once you get past level 3, I believe, it starts to cost more and more to level. So it's a bit difficult to, try to get to those higher tiers. But as teammates, we can help each other and pass those high tier minions.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have a character like Infinite Toki, if you peek on over here at mine, you can see that I can go grab higher tier minions. And if I buy them and pass them to you, that's really strong.
Okay. Okay.
So I think looking at this, if I were in your shoes, I feel like we go Toki and Mukla. just
Okay,
to give us
so
early. You give us the early strength, and I give us the late game.
okay, so Mukla as a passive at the start of your turn, get 2 bananas and give everyone else 1. Okay.
And also, there's a little emote system where I can go pop over and be like, "Hey, you should pick that one." And you can right click on a minion or character on someone's board, and there's a question mark, portal, check mark, and X. And what those mean, nobody knows. But
Nobody knows.
but okay. So things have changed a bit, but if you look over at my board, I have this minion Passenger over here. So
Okay.
Passenger is very, very strong. They have nerfed this a little bit, but it's still busted. So I am going to take this Passenger, and I'm going to play this. I would recommend that you buy the Mini Myrmidon or the Refreshing Anomaly, and we just buff up with the intent to buy and pass next turn for you.
Okay. So you want me to just play all my bananas and all this stuff?
Oh yeah. Go on in.
Whoa, lag. I got it. Woo. Panic.
So if you could see on the left, the position of the characters means that we fight in this order.
Okay.
And once one board is cleared, the other board comes in to help. So we lost this one. But what's funny is that if your board gets cleared by the same person, like one person beats both boards, the other board still comes in to help.
Oh,
okay. So that can be very, very strong. So again here, double Passenger could be really strong tempo. You have double bananas, so that means we're probably going to win. I'm going to skip the double Passenger and just level. You should probably buy the Refreshing Elemental and then pass me a big banana or mini trident. Yep.
Okay. Whew. This the timer feels quite short when you're trying to communicate these things and get all the actions in, I will say. You have to do that very quickly before the timer runs out.
Yeah. So, and you can see there I came on in to help push that extra damage. And how about them apples? All right, so I have a really strong pirate shop.
Ooh, okay.
Yours is... So you're probably looking to buy that mini Myrmidon with a banana and then pass something to me. It doesn't really matter what.
The tavern dish banana?
Yep.
Okay. Well...
So then if you can pass me one of your bananas or...
Because I have a big banana too. Do you want the tavern dish banana?
Either one's fine. Just one of them.
Just one of them? Okay.
Just because you can see this 1/2 buff on the Passenger is a lot of tempo early and will preserve health. So at this point now, we probably don't need to continue buffing Passenger. But you can see how that Passenger was so huge, and that's probably their big minion that they would have had. So, yep, we win again. The early tempo is super, super nice. And now I can start leveraging that tempo into levels, and I can start trying to pass you 4 and 5 to your minions, which are really, really strong in this format. So, can buy...
should I level?
So you are looking to level, buy, and then spend 1 gold, which is probably a pass here. So just your small banana is fine.
Pass that to you. Okay.
Yep.
And what am I buying? Does it matter? Just something with a death rattle? What does this do? Trusty pup.
Pup is nice. Ooh. It's passive scaling. I think you are fine with pup or with the wolf. So I will buy these.
I like pup, and then I'm going to buff it.
Sounds good.
We'll buff it up a little. There we go. Okay.
So you're going first this fight into George. So hopefully you can mess him up a little bit. All right. Well, George has that big divine shield, but your pup is going to handle it. Easy game. And now, I am here. Do a little mopping up.
I love the little goofy drawn faces over the top of the characters that have lost the fight on the side.
That's inspired graphic design. I'm proud of whoever on the team came up with it.
I love it so much.
All right. So it looks like here I'm going to buy this hasty excavation to hold on my board, level Temporal Tavern, and take a 4. For your shop, it looks like you have a pretty reasonable opportunity to level, actually. None of those minions are super desirable. You could go apples, Riffer, Lava Lurker, but leveling and buying apples seems completely reasonable. Just because we have so much early tempo.
I'm not going to play them apples, because that's only the minions currently shown in the shop, right? It's not like a permanent buff to all of the minions. So,
yep.
Okay. Does it matter where we buff?
I would continue to buff one thing and then put your 1/4 first as a bumper. I'm going to buy this Landlubber. Then I will keep buffing these pirates. Now, one thing that's kind of cool, and I'm going to lock this shop for this reason, is that things that say pass, you can pass from the shop. So,
directly from the shop?
Gold efficient. Yes.
Okay, so instead of buying it and then spending another gold to pass it through the portal, does it still spend all of that gold, or does it only spend the 1 gold to pass it through the portal then?
So like there's a spell in my shop that costs 2 gold and it lets you pass a minion. That spell just costs 2 gold and you can target something in the shop with it. So it's 2 gold for a buy rather than 4 for a bypass. So it's very, very powerful.
Wow.
Especially in this development phase where we're still trying to, sort of reach our levels that we want to.
Okay, so... Oh, I see. Okay, because it's just passing on golden minion. Okay, interesting.
Yep. So for you now, it looks like you have a really good chance to go beast because I can pass you this Trigor the Lasher on my board, which is passive scaling. That's really, really strong.
So this is whenever another friendly beast takes damage, gain +1 health permanently. Okay.
So I'm going to buy Portal in a bottle, send you this. So you can buy that Burrower.
Okay.
Or you can use them apples, and you can buy the Burrower and the Elemental that gives health, whose name is evading me, the Slimy
Party Element.
Oh,
what is
Slimy Spellblood. Yep, see? New cards, gotta read.
What is this? Too much, too many things. Battle Cry, minions in the tavern have +2 health this game. Okay. So I buy this first. Battle Cry. Yeah. And then buy this Burrower, because now we got it more health.
Yep.
And...
play that and put your dog near the front.
Near the front.
It will also take damage. And then you buff up now your Trigor. That is now your priority to buff with your, at least the health buffs. But now that'll start to passively scale for you. And on my board, I'm going with another team damaging route. So I have this Wing Chimera, which will buff my team whenever it itself takes damage. And those are permanent buffs. So getting them this early is really nice and one of the most powerful things about Toki in this game mode.
Wow.
And you had an awesome fight.
Oh, okay. So it looks like this opponent just kind of went really big into passenger there.
Yep. And
but you can see we tied.
That we have enough tempo to tie, and now we're actually scaling.
Okay.
So overconfidence in the shop means that I want to probably... I can take this and go for a big thing. What's on your side? You want to roll now for beasts that synergize with Trigor, so you're comfortable to roll on this level.
Do I want natural blessing to give?
Not yet. It's a good to
Okay.
have, but right now you need to use your gold to find your board.
What is that?
So that triple is
Dragon
really
pirate.
nice.
Okay.
I'd recommend taking that.
And I'm not leveling. I don't have the gold to level and buy it, so just see what I get.
That's all right. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right. Slyrapt. Oh, what is a mirror monster? When you buy or discover this, get an extra copy and pass it. Slyraptor or Snarling Conductor.
For you, the Fly Raptor is just excellent tempo. And you can taunt it as well, which is really powerful.
Okay.
So I would recommend buying that minion.
Okay. What else do I want to do? Just reroll and try to find more beasts?
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. So I found a Well-Wisher on my turn with my hero power, which is super, super nice. So I can pass a non-golden minion except Well-Wisher.
Okay.
So I can say, send you this for 0 gold. And now you are getting more powerful. So you can sell that, play the pop, sell your Slimy Fellblood, play your bird, buy the tavern spell.
Ah! Okay, I didn't get to play everything.
That's okay.
There's
That's
so many
okay.
things to play. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this feels difficult if both people don't know like the minions very well or don't kind of know what it is they might want.
Oh yes, it's not easy. I mean, I think that you'll notice here that relative to this lobby, we're performing very well. So it might not be the case that everyone is, planning in the same way, but like the skill ceiling's very high. Like this is a super cool mode. Oh, and you get your value. Your beasts are getting hit, which is really important because that means that your Trigor is growing.
That's right. Okay. So, at 10 gold, do I want to level or am I just still trying to find some beasts here?
So I'm giving you the beast you need. So you can see now Enrage is sort of a sub theme for this.
Okay, so for audio listeners, Rampager, when it is a beast, whenever this attacks, deal 1 damage to your other minions, which works well with that Trigor the Lasher. Whenever another friendly beast takes damage, gain +1 health permanently. So I want the Rager probably at the front so that it attacks first and deals damage to all my beasts.
Correct. Exactamundo. So now I can send this over to you.
And another burrower taunt thing. Okay.
And I can send you this.
Am I selling the Myrmidon?
Yeah, you can sell Myrmidon at this point. It's probably done. It's done its job.
Oh, scare.
So you can reborn your Silithid. At this point, the taunt at the front.
I can reborn it. Okay.
Yep, and then dump that minion.
Okay.
Now I would level first, like right now, and then buy the telescope and play it. And try to see if you find another
Slyraptor.
Slyraptor is cool. You can just hold on to that.
Okay, and then just play the Rampager?
Yep, play the Rampager, and then put your bananas on Trigor. And then next turn, you can play that recruitment thing and try to give me something good.
Oh my gosh, there's
or
so
you can
many
pass
things.
it to me, and I can play it to give you a beast.
Okay.
So now look at this Trigor is scaling on the health. Now it's where it starts to actually pick up a little bit. It was a tier 5 with much better scaling before, but at this tier, it's a bit more accessible as a tempo unit, which is how we're trying to strategize here. And you can see they have the full comp.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Oh, I see. Yeah, they have double. Okay. And a golden Rampager. Oh, which this is also interesting because since we have Mukla, we've been giving everyone else bananas too. So they're probably using those bananas to buff up their lashers as well. The Trigor lashers.
Exactly. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
So we'll take a loss there. That's okay. They've leveraged their hero power already and no longer have it. But soon,
Okay.
I will be able to touch the sky in terms of the highest tier of minion. So
I'm going to pass you this recruitment program.
sounds good. And I will send it to you.
And each of us can only pass once per turn, right?
Nope, we can pass as much as we want. It just costs.
Oh, just okay. Got it. All right.
Yep. So
So what do I want to do at this point? Do I try to find a triple to give myself room on the board? Or
I think that's a smart plan.
okay. Oh, well, I did find a triple. The Burrower.
Yep. So I'm going to ask, so you should take that, and I'm going to ask if you can send me some sort of minion. It really can be anything, but I have an opportunity to level now, so I'm going to take it.
Okay.
And then you can just play your Silithid and see what you get. It might be a 5 that could help me as well as you.
You have pirates, right? Do you want this Blade Collector?
No, not yet. I don't have the scaling for it yet.
Oh. Okay.
I'm going to take a roll here, try to send you something better. So there's a triple in the shop for me. I can lock that. We can take this damage. I'm going to send you this Silver Goose.
Okay.
Can you send me just something? You gotta... I'll take the dealer. That's acceptable.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Yes. That was... I helped. I did something. Oh,
hey,
no.
You're doing great. You're our carry. You're the carry.
You're carrying because you're telling us what to do. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You're carrying because your board is strong. That's the important thing.
Oh my gosh, they have a gigantic golden Magmaluck.
It's
I love
not
Magmaluck.
gigantic. It's
like, kind of. It feels gigantic.
It's appropriately sized. That's gigantic, but you got this. I believe in you.
Okay. This scaling is so interesting.
You can win this whole thing.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Okay, so we tied, right?
Yep, just barely.
Okay.
So that was a good fight for us because now I can get a couple 6-drops for us.
Okay. And am I still just going to try to find another triple?
I would say for you, you're just looking to roll and strengthen your current comp as it is.
Okay.
So, like, more things like the Rampager, another Trigor.
Do I want Natural Blessing now?
Once again, not yet. Still not quite at that stage. Now, I'm going to send you something pretty good for you. I'm going to send you a better beast, okay? Oh, so now that minion on the left, that's a good one.
Wait. Fire Dancer? Oh, Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all minions. Okay.
So since you're not a Divine Shield comp especially, you can buy that and continue rolling.
Okay.
And you're going to get this from me.
And it is Untamable. I love it. I love it. It's a mech beast. Whenever this takes damage, gain Divine Shield. It is a tier 6. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. So what am I getting rid of to put these things on the board?
So I think at this point you can probably get rid of the Hummingbird and the Slyraptor. Those I think are your expendable units.
Okay, so can I sell off the other Slyraptor at this point?
Yeah, you can just sell off the other ones in level, honestly.
And the grandmother?
Yep.
Level. Okay, and then...
And now, an important lesson. This is where we can give up on the pups, or at least one of the pups, and you can instead play this lovely gas coiler.
Gas coiler. Okay, I'll get rid of the smaller pup.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And now that you're leveled, we're going to try to find you scaling for your untamable and your other beasts, because there's the board-wide scaling on this tier.
Okay. Placement. Is placement fine?
Your placement is, I would just put the 5/4 first. That's
okay.
it. Yep.
Do you want this
and then
trousers?
You can taunt the 5/4 if you want to, but we can figure out what to do with it
Gotcha.
later.
Okay.
So now watch how this plays out for you.
There's so many. Okay. Hey, and we're against George, who does have Divine Shields. So now we got rid of 2 Divine Shields from that Death Rattle, which is great.
Yep.
And
then this is scaling up your bull permanently, which is really nice because that's a good unit to have big. And they have the Quillbore good stuff. So this is the team to beat right now.
Also, look, I got a gift horse, which is great because this is also a beast that's generating more beasts. So that's even more just scaling for this Trigor.
Yes.
And so that was a good death rattle from the...
Oh, yeah. It was very nice.
Wow. I see what you mean by my board is strong. It's been a lot of work. I cleared like 1.5 boards.
Yep, and I'm like you've seen, I'm a little bit less than that, but that's okay. We'll take our 15 damage. And
the damage cap. Whew.
Yep, we're still saved by that. But they have a very commanding position.
Cho'Gall got knocked out, and we reversed their ghost now.
Good.
So, okay. Do you want a Blade Collector yet?
No Blade Collector. Actually, yeah, sure. I can take a Blade Collector. That seems
What about
fine.
Portal in a bottle?
Yeah, that you buy that and then use that to give the Blade Collector.
Okay. Buy that. Okay.
So I could pivot Quillbore, but I don't think I have
That's
time.
Cool.
I need to look for Greymane. We'll try Quillbore out, maybe? Yeah.
Ooh, do I want Gold Shell Warden?
Gold Shell Warden? It is not bad. You can cycle the 5/4. Or you can cycle the Gas Coiler slot. But... okay. Second, Pokey. Does this change things, or do I send you another Untamable? If you find the scaling, I'll send you Untamable. You keep rolling. Don't look at Magnanimous right now. It's too intense.
Aww.
Oh, I want this rock for me. What am I talking
Keep rolling.
about?
What am I looking for?
It's a blue bird. It's called like iridescent something. That's very helpful, but I promise it's real.
Is that one of those you'll know it when you see it?
Yeah, it's like a blue bird. You can't miss it.
Can't miss it. Okay, well I didn't hit it. Okay. So if I cycle the Fire Dancer.
So I'm super weak right now, but that's okay. I need to find, again, Greymane, and we're fighting a ghost, and you're going to scale, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, and you are also going first in our fight this time, so...
Yep.
We'll either... No, we should still win, right? I was going to say, we'll either be close to tying, or...
We'll definitely win. They have one strong person... And you're going to be a little bit more helpful in terms of cleaning up, yeah.
Okay.
So
oh yeah, these were the people that had their... Oh, they found a golden Trigor too. And they still got knocked out.
Yeah, it looks like you'll edge out their board, but I think we're probably not going to beat the second board.
Ouch. Yeah.
Oh, no, maybe the bull just sweeps. Nope, they're too strong. Big Quillbore. We'll take 15. I think we're going third, Don.
So I'm at 2 and you're at 2. We're doing well.
Okay. I just need to. I just need to hit.
Okay, what is it that you're looking for?
So I'm looking for Gen Greymane on tier 6. But I'm
Okay.
going to send you this Baron to end on, and you should try to find another Death Rattle that you can scam with in the short term. Armor won't do us much good. I can give you another Bull. I can take another Rock for me. I think we do so. And then we're done here. No Gen Greymane, a little unfortunate. Tethys pair.
Well, okay. If I want... Okay.
So
I'm just going in with a bunch of scarabs giving stuff reborn.
Hey, not a bad plan. Can you
that's what
do
I'm
me a
finding.
favor though? Could you pass me that faceless?
Faceless. Yep. You got it. See, this is why, like, if you were just pinging, I feel like that would be so confusing.
It would be very quick.
Do you want this blade collector?
No more time.
Oh, shoot. I tried to just buy something with the gold, but didn't let me. Okay.
Surely we're fine.
Surely. Double death rattles. Something good? Fire dancer. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh.
Oh, you got one.
Okay. Now you're bored. Oh my gosh. We still have their second board too. We're not gonna. How strong is their second board?
We're not gonna find out.
This. Oh no. Oh, this is not going well. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Hey, not a bad first effort. That was the strong board for sure. But
yeah. Okay.
You get the idea though. You can kind of see. So importantly, like, in the future, like the tough thing is when in doubt, decide fast rather than decide well. And that's kind of the Battlegrounds mode. But
fair.
You can see we started out strong, and then once the decisions got a little more complex and it was kind of tough to completely coordinate, that's when things started to get out of hand. So very fun mode though. And even though we did not get that first place, still was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that.
I did too. Okay, that was fun. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was still fun. I was like, I don't know what these things are. I could yeah, that was really interesting. I hope that it's a little bit more followable. I don't know how to say that. I hope it's a little easy to follow for anyone who might be just listening like to an audio version. That's why I tried to just say what some things were that we were talking about, but there was a lot going on between us trying to communicate, us getting our own minions. Do we want to level? Do we want to buy stuff? Do we want to pass things? They are keeping the tavern spells permanently in Battlegrounds now. So also that, like, do we want to buy a minion? Do we want to buy a spell? Are we getting some of those things to pass to each other? Trying to pay attention to like what the other people are doing, because I feel like I wasn't even paying attention to our opponents like at all. Which I think when I do like the regular Battlegrounds, I try to pay attention some to what the other people are doing. But is that as important, do you think? again, this was my first time playing it, so you have much more experience.
Yeah, I mean, I can say that a lot of it's a new format. So it's been a
Yeah.
day. We don't know exactly what the best scaling is right at this moment or the most consistent comp. But one of the big differences is how long the damage cap is on and how much health your team has. So, collectively speaking, some combinations of characters can have nearly 70 health. It's a good chunk because those armor totals sort of mesh together. So, you end up with like I know that like what my friend and I we played one game where we were Guff and Maev and we had 68 health. And even though we did not have much going on, we were just able to power level early and that snowballed into a win. So there's not an explicit sort of comeback mechanic like there is with Quest, where the worst characters get
Wow.
some sort of edge. But in duos, your survival is so much higher than standard battlegrounds that you really can sometimes
Mm.
just be greedy, power level, and go for those big comps, which is something I know a lot of people find fun, and it's even more fun when it wins.
Yeah. Oh, that was really interesting. Okay, yeah. I definitely can see though, like I think it would be really fun if I also at least somewhat knew, but like since I had no clue like what the minions were, I was like, I don't know what we're doing. I felt like I was relying very heavily on you, which
Well,
I
and
felt the other way like at BlizzCon when I got to play because I was playing with my husband who also he'd never played Battlegrounds at all. So he had no idea. So I was like trying to tell him everything, just like, okay, buy this one too. And I'm like, literally we were sitting next to each other though, so it was a lot easier to just like point or buy that thing. But um but
yeah,
yeah, it's a little difficult when only one person kind of knows what's going
right.
on.
Yeah. A thing that's nice too is like in some other games, the one person who knows kind of needs to carry in the sense that they have to do all the stuff, but it doesn't always work out this way in duos. And you notice that even though I'm the one who knows what they're doing, a lot of that effort was investing in your board, which is the one that had the better immediate prospects. And
Yeah.
like it's cool because you can either try to be the big board and work with your teammate to do that. You can kind of be the supporter and try to build up your teammate so that they can carry you through the fights while you focus on econ or something else. Or you can kind of balance the load a bit and each person can kind of take their share. So it really, I think, is a lot more dynamic than the solo battlegrounds where you're just like, all right, strongest board, strongest board. Okay, how am I scaling? Whereas in duos, it's like, should I be scaling? Should I be helping them scale? Because the
Hmm.
sum is sometimes more, the sum of the parts is sometimes more than the whole. And like you can cheat a little bit and be like, hey, if we both try to scale our boards and do it to the best of our abilities, we can cheat it a little bit instead, and we can both scale one of our boards to the point where it's outrageous, and the little board that's left, icing on the cake. So it's very cool.
Yeah, that is really interesting. I think too the like strategies that you might employ also depends on like what we mentioned, right? Like are we able to actually sit here and talk back and forth or one of us kind of take the lead and say, "Okay, like you buy this, I'll buy this. Like let's do this." And we kind of have a plan versus people who might just if you randomly queue duos and you don't know who you're talking with or there's no like voice chat or anything like that where you can't really do that. I am also really interested to see how maybe some people who have like other struggles, like how this works for like accessibility things, I'll say, because I know I think the blind community, the blind accessibility mod just got their update so they can play duos. So I'm interested because obviously they're going to have screen readers and things like that. So they're gonna have to like listen to all that, see what's going on, take the time, then try to talk back and forth and get that all out in that time, which we
Yeah.
saw like I struggled with the timer thing, right? But maybe for people who are deaf, they're not gonna care about having a voice call, right? It's like, meh, okay.
Yeah.
They'll be able to use those in-game emotes to ping things and use those. So that's kind of cool. And even people, who are hearing or anything, they can use those in game when they just pair up randomly in duos as well. So kind of interesting how you're pairing or who you're paired with or like what modes you have to play with in terms of like your own senses and that kind of thing also could change the dynamic of like what choices you're making in the game. That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, for a much, much lesser example, like even when I played solo Battlegrounds, there was a time when I was playing mobily on my phone. And it's like, okay, well,
Oh yeah.
pirates and elementals are going to be weighted a little lighter than they would be normally because with those comps, you need to be very, very, very fast in terms of
Oh
making
my
lots of
gosh.
decisions, lots of actions per minute. And doing that on a phone was, well, at the, geriatric age of 30, I can't handle that kind of thing. But and so, I can't even
Oh,
imagine for, someone who, is blind or, in a situation like No Hands Gamer where they're not able to use a traditional
yeah.
interface. There are trade-offs that have to be made. And, I hope that the community finds like that sort of right balance that lets people enjoy the game without,
Yeah.
being too put off by not being able to execute some of the more physically demanding compositions.
Yeah, there's definitely some really interesting things. But in terms of the game mode itself, like I said, I got to play the one game at BlizzCon, and even then, I was like, that was so much fun. This, today playing like now, while it's actually in the game and us just in a voice call, still incredibly, incredibly fun. I definitely want to do this more. Maybe I need to like actually try to set aside like one day a week where I can like get in calls with people and play some duos. But thank you for playing that with me during our podcast here.
Yeah, it was fun.
It
And,
was fun.
hopefully we can both get that practice up and see where our ratings go to the moon.
Yeah. It's it's always difficult, I feel like, when trying to do an actual like live game like this for something like a podcast where some people might listen to it just on audio. So we'll see how that kind of translates, but at least since we do have video versions, we thought like this could be a good time to do this. And hopefully Ron doesn't get too sad and feel left out. Ron, we'll play with you if you want to play. I promise.
Yeah, yeah. And despite what the chat alleges, there is no Battlegrounds trios yet. So, you know, whatever happened, Ron isn't in my basement. We didn't cause him not to be here.
Yeah.
It's just luck. Bad luck on his part.
Yes. Diego centric, yeah, in the chat was saying, "Can't believe they announced Battlegrounds trios in the patch notes." I think that was earlier in the show when you were like trying to ask how much you could get away with if I
Oh
read
yeah.
detailed or not, like just trying to fit in, like yeah, no trios. I know that much from the patch notes. No trios. All right. Well, anything else that you want to bring up, chat about, mention before we wrap it up?
No, I think we're good to go with the outro. And in Ron's stead, I will persevere and carry on with it. So thank you for joining us this week. And if you or someone you know would be interested in joining us, please reach out to us. You can email us at tccgroundtable or at protonmail.com. Oh boy, reading's hard. Follow us on Twitter. You can use our top pin tweet for a link to our Discord or use the link in the description/show notes. You can check out our Discord. Check out the video version at youtube.com at dragonrider TCCG's channel. You can find us everywhere you can find audio podcasts. And also, if you want to get some sweet playmats or card game accessories, you can check out that Ink Gaming affiliate. And individually, you can find me on twitter.com/daddankest, on YouTube at youtube.com/DankestDadCCG, and you can find me on Discord as DankestDad. You can find Ron, as always, on his stream, which hopefully is returning tonight, fingers crossed, at twitch.tv/Ron Mexico. Jess and Don, where can we find you?
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter, DonnieDK, DAWNIEDK. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube, dragonrider TCCG. Talking all things standard Hearthstone over at the Dr. 3 HS podcast, which is also closing in on a milestone. In just a few short weeks, we are hitting episode 250. So yes, that's very exciting. And apparently you can also find me being a celebrity commentator. So yeah, that's exciting. Thank you for everyone who says things like that and always makes me feel so amazing.
All right. So that will do it for our outro. So thank you, and we'll see you at the roundtable.